I'm just gonna put that there. So, we're live. This is Such Bullshit Podcast, episode 5, where I talk about drama posters and, unfortunately, some rumors that have somehow come to fruition out of nowhere from some random-ass people that we don't even know and nobody even has ever heard of. I'm going to talk a little bit about that because, you know, it regards someone, you know, I've actually given a shit about and worked with. And, you know, I feel bad that, you know, someone, you know, let's skip that part. Let's get to the drama poster part. Here's my thoughts, okay, officially on drama posters. Right now, I got a little time clock right here. You might notice I look a little different, you know. This is a whole different episode. Whole different episode. My mind's much more open. I've read like about several to a dozen books by now. I think I'm at book 11 or 10 now. Really open-minded shit. 300-page books. These are nothing small. These are nothing to joke about. I read these in my spare time. I'm drinking Corona Light because COVID. Doing that unironically. So, drama posters on YouTube. Primarily YouTube. They have always been fucking dog shit. Just anyone who does it, just self-consciously, they were probably a troll like myself far long ago. When I say far long ago, probably still are, somewhere deep down. Maybe you are. Who knows? Who does? I don't fucking care. I'm not going to judge you. That was your lifestyle choice. They were probably a troll all the way back to about, like, 2006, 7, you know, early YouTube days. The times where people didn't give a shit and YouTube wasn't like fucking television. However, what can't be ignored is when you have fucking drama posters on YouTube, and there's a lot of them. They make ad revenue off the pain and suffering of others. They fucking create target harassment campaigns. They get kicked off the fucking site. It may not even be, you know, Twitter. It may not be fucking YouTube. It may not even be Mixer or Twitch. I'm not going after specific names. I'm just saying in general. In general, there's so much stupid fucking hate, so to speak, that it hurts my brain. Like, you walk away after posting one of these videos. Say I get up, I walk out this door, right? I go right out there after uploading one of them. What would I think as a person? What's my view? What's my goal? Like, do I sit there and be like, oh man, I sure put that guy down. Oh fuck, now what do I do? You get to that point. Now what do I do? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? If your goal is to, in life, follow that shit. Now keep in mind, I hate people who sit down and watch, you know, TV shows and waste their fucking life, like As the World Turns or any of those fucking soap operas. I look at people like that and I'm like, you're just fucking shallow. You're looking for a reason to exist at that point. Like, hobbies, things to do, creativity, gaming, anything. Fucking going live, talking, anything, a fucking podcast. Jack shit. Getting a job that, you know, spends 80 hours of your time in a day. Anything. Then sitting and creating fake biased news because you've known the person, you hate them because probably they were ex-friend or whatever. A nice, real prime example. I'm just throwing this name out there. Billy Mitchell and Kat Despira. Kat Despira, if you go look on the Apollo Legend video regarding King of Kong, the original one, okay, in it, Apollo, like somewhere, I think it's like 5 minutes in, he says that there's these documents, he spreads them out on 3 pages, and they're all written, and somehow Kat Despira got them. What they don't say is that Kat Despira broke into Billy Mitchell's email account to give Apollo that. But Apollo didn't know that. So Apollo is innocent in that. The issue is that it was biased. Kat was biased. So the information you get, Scoves, how you done? The information you get, and intelligence that you get from biased individuals cannot be trusted. It cannot be trusted. I at first thought, okay, Kat probably, as a writer, wrote these documents. These are probably fucking fake. Why should that matter if they're fake or not? Because it has nothing to do with Billy Mitchell. Probably thinking that. Who fucking cares? The fact remains that there is a biased individual providing and presenting facts as if this was a YouTube court case, so to speak. And you get to that level, and I'm only 5 minutes into my podcast, I'm still going. When you get to that level, you should really just step off, not YouTube, but like social media whole, and re-examine how you want to present yourself throughout life. And I'm not saying like go off and kill yourself. I'm saying like sit down and figure out what in life that you actually do want. Because I can tell you right now, Kat's reasoning for being petty, she wanted Billy Mitchell to leave his wife to marry her. I gotta tell you, Kat the Spear is fucking ugly as shit. I wouldn't bang that with a 50-foot pole up my ass and a gun to my head. I will say that on stream. I know nobody likes that kind of language. You know, nobody likes hearing, disgusting talk about butts and, genitalia, whatever. I don't care about that on this platform. This is YouTube, to where YouTube over the last 5-6 years has just been like shit drama. If I wanted to play video games, I'll head over to Twitch and I'll play games there. Or I'll play games here. It doesn't really matter where I do it. This platform to me, YouTube as a platform, is a commodity. It's a joke. Nobody, questionably gives a shit about it, right? So we got people, making all this fake hate content, and I get to the point where people make alternate accounts, have conversations with themselves, pretending to be somebody else, and then taking a picture of that and trying to say it's real. And then getting caught by another friend saying, oh yeah, it's Photoshop, on live text. You get to that point in life, just just fucking stop. I fucking can't. I can't with those people. I can't. Okay? I've been a troll for over 20 years on the internet. Ongoing. For a long time. I know the game. I know the mindset. I know the mind games. I know if I wanted to get away with a serious fucking lie throughout life, I could do it. Like a speedrunner tactic, like a speedrunner being able to fake a speedrunner, or fake a speedrun in general. And speaking of speedruns, let me talk about something else. In Apollo Legends Discord server, when I was there, I wanted to talk to Dwayne Richards. Originally, just because I was curious about talks and the videos that Apollo was recording and conversations with him, I wanted to talk to him myself. I wanted to interview him. You look like Harry Potter today, Maris. I was going for a more holistic appearance. I don't have the glasses, but these are fake glasses. I like them. They make me feel like this improv asshole, basically. This is the look I wanted to go for this podcast. It just works. Maybe if in the future, really tall, overrated cap. Maybe a top hat. Maybe a red and black top hat, I'm thinking. Possibly. But let me go back to the Dwayne Richards thing, right? Dwayne Richards. Let me go backward. Richie Knuckles, which I was originally going to go to New Jersey GamerCon, which was about, I don't know, like a 10-20 minute drive from where I live. It wasn't too far, so I was going to go up there and meet him for the first time. That event was canceled, so I think it would have been happening this next week on a Friday, but unfortunately it's going to happen next year. I'm going to try to meet him then. He wrote on legal documentation signed to a court that Dwayne Richards wanted to call him, and he told him twice and asked him, I wanted to fake a MAME score, and I want to put an egg on Twin Galaxies. I sit there, I'm thinking, like, why? That's really sketchy. And Richie could be lying in court paper document. He could not be lying. So then that made me, right then and there, question, is Dwayne Richards a reliable source? Is he an RS? And so to speak, when it comes to Wikipedia, is he a reliable source? I don't know. After seeing that documentation, that made me just, like, all composure question a lot of things. Maybe Twin Galaxies is fucked up. Maybe he thought back then, like, oh, there's a lot of fakery, so I'm going to create some fakery so that way they can't get away with it in the future. Maybe. If that was his mindset, I wouldn't be surprised. Secretly, deep down, maybe for 10 years, he was plotting it out and had it well planned out in advance. I could see him doing that. I could see somebody doing that. Realistically, let's be honest here. I've only been talking for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Nothing major. I feel bad a little bit for, you know, just Apollo Legend in general. I want to talk about Dark Viper and what's going on with him. So, this guy, I talked to, I think like a week after he posted a video saying Apollo Legend was a liar for ad revenue. And I contacted him on Discord because I saw down below in his video description he had a Discord tag. And I'm like, alright, let me fucking talk to him. I'm like, a word for it, I just asked him, why do you think Apollo Legend is a liar? Just, you know, I want some proof. Can you show me something? Like, I just wanted to know physical proof, and could I, like, backtrace prove it myself and get it verified somehow through maybe 3 or 4 other people that didn't relate to the guy. And, you know, his reason was, oh, he's a liar, don't you see it? And blocking you. Fuck you. I'm like, okay, you're kind of a fucking idiot, but whatever. I don't really care. But then a whole year later, I'm thinking to myself, after that guy, I'm like, I don't know about this guy. There's something personal going on here, right? I don't know what's going on. Do you know what's going on? I don't fucking know. So, I cut ties with Zelda speedruns publicly in their server for very obvious reasons. Very, very obvious reasons, with the owner being an asshole. I'll say it on stream. The owner's an asshole. I don't care. The point being, I called him out for a lot of fucking bullshit, and then everyone followed me instead of him. But he didn't want to listen, so I kind of just walked away, made my own deal. But that in turn made Apollo think that I'm a piece of shit for doing that, because it was Zelda speedruns. You know, it's a big thing, big deal. You know, whatever. I thought of it. I'm like, is this really worth it to me to keep volunteering for a group that is abusing their volunteers and issues with that? And I thought to myself, do I really want to come here every week and sit down for the weekly race and go on commentary for 2 hours, no pay, and just sit there and talk while I constantly have my role removed and I get moved around constantly, when that was never a thing beforehand for over a year before all that shit? No, it wasn't worth it. I went to a different community recently. I started doing, I got back on speed gaming after about a year. I got back on them. And I'm going to enjoy doing the volunteer work because it's a different game, different community. However, it sucks that happened in that community, because then I turn around, I look back, and Apollo doesn't, you know, I think he doesn't trust me because I went after one of his friends, technically, by technical standard. But he still remains friends with me on Discord. I can still kind of contact him whenever I want. But I got to talk about what's down below in my video description here in a little bit. I'm going to talk about that in about 15 minutes, because I still got another 15 minutes of ranting and talking that I can do openly. And then, you know, again, this is an open mic bullshit podcast where you can say whatever you want and however you feel. I'm not going to sit here and snowflake your lives, okay? I'm not going to snowflake it. I'm not. I'm a realist and a visionary. I will sit here and tell you what I think when I want to say it, when I care. If I want to sit here and drink a light, shitty beer that I don't even like, by the way, because I bought it out of joke context, and, you know, I don't really give a shit, but if you want to say I drink on stream and hold that against me, feel free. If you want to say that, you know, you're being way too out there, you're being too questionable, so be it. Go for it. I've reached a point to where I appreciate myself above everything else while still having respect for everyone else that I work with. That's a level of self-respect and not self-hate that anybody can appreciate. You can create things wholesomely without thought. Yeah, I'm just gonna skip ahead. I'm gonna skip ahead. I don't care. 15 minutes. I'm already the happiest motherfucker on the planet. I got everything I want. I got a whole N64 collection coming. I just recently bought a N64 handbag, you know, the carry bag, an N64 PAL console, because I got to test some PAL games, several PAL games, and I'm trying to get this recreated, unreleased N64. I'm going to have one liquid print it for me with the original plastic. It's really hard. I'm measuring out, you know, what kind of plastic materials it is, but I'm going to have it printed for me. It's going to be really cool. It's the, it's going to be the bright purplish pink transparent with the bottom one vanilla. It's like white transparent. That was an unreleased one. I'm not gonna link it, but you know you could look it up on N64 unreleased consoles. There's about 5 of them. Really interesting shit. There was a lime one, all lime. It's not like this one right here, but it's like a brighter green, right? That was never released. It was supposed to be like extreme green. That never became a thing. I don't know if that was extreme green, but it was something else, but it was something that was not released. Can't really recall, can't really remember. I'll crack this door real quick, because it is unfortunately hot in here. I don't have my little miniature AC unit down here, but it's alright. But again, you can't post on YouTube self-hate content and realistically think you're better for it, because down the road it jeopardizes you. It makes for bad karma. Number one, it's bad karma. Shit happens. I mean, I can't even talk about karma. I live in Jersey. I've seen shit happen every day. I'm about to go to bed now. Before I go, I wanted to talk to you. I wanted to video chat with me sometime on Discord. If so, what time and day? It'd be cool to chat between me, Toronto, and New Jersey. Anytime tomorrow. I don't work tomorrow. I'm off. I covered my manager and another employee's shift yesterday as just a regular employee. When you get to a level to where you're that skilled at your job that you can replace your employer, you know you're fucking good, right? See, I got to this level on my own. And everyone else that got in my way, the people that I worked with, the people that all these drama posters think that, you know, oh, they exposed you, you're bad, you're horrible. You want to know what about those people in my life? They posted constant fucking racism every single day. They would come to me at 3 in the morning, texting my phone, texting my real phone, waking me the fuck up, saying, "Hey, Maris, hey, so listen, you know, let's just say letter B, for example, person B, he's game hopping, he's making my life miserable, you know, it's pissing me off." And then person A, the other person B in this case, person B was like, "Oh, person A, you know, he's constantly drinking, he's constantly bitching about me going off doing something else, and, you know, I can't fucking stand it." And they would both call me up. Just constant arguing, bickering, like kids. But these guys were older than me. They had more fucked up shit about me. Well, not about me, but like, they had more fucked up shit about them, rather, sorry, than anything else. I don't want to get into their back history if I have to, but let's just say that back in my day, I didn't care what a person did. So long as they didn't murder someone, I don't care what they did. So long as they didn't swat someone, I don't care what they did. I didn't judge a book by its cover. People do bad shit all the time, and then later down the road, karma hits them, and then they get the fuck over it. Okay? However, a lot of people, when they do these things in fucking life, it's not like, oh, they're the bad kid in life, the bad child out of 3 that nobody likes and hangs around with, so, you know, pick them up out of pity. It's more along the lines of, you know, social outcasts that I picked up that were fans of my work. You know, I got people coming to me from 4chan and fucking Reddit and pre-9gag, if that was a thing. I don't know how old 9gag was, but I did have people come along from all the fuck over, from every corner of the internet. Just slowly pick them up over, you know, the course of 10 to 15 years. I mean, realistically, I'm 28, so what does that give you? What does that give you in terms of an age, right? That would mean that when I was 8, I was browsing the internet, and I was still being a cool kid. I mean, that was the earliest time, but, like, that was before I was even a creator. Like, back then, I was just browse the internet, and do whatever the fuck I want. I was an 8-year-old. You can't really judge an 8-year-old by its cover, right? But, a lot of these fucking YouTubers think that, you do one thing, or somebody comes out with something, that immediately you're scum of the fucking earth. Like, say, for example, one drama poster. I'm just gonna throw a random name. Let's just say Person K. Person K has like 1 million subs on YouTube. Let's just say PewDiePie, for example. I'm just gonna throw his name. I'm not gonna fucking shit on his career. I don't care. The guy has said the N-word in the past. I don't really give a shit. He said the N-word comedically. comedically for attention. He didn't say it toward an individual, to my knowledge, but back then, he said it. No one cares. We all moved on. World's still fucking spinning. The world hasn't started raining cats and dogs, right? We're still alive. All good. Let's just say, for example, if I wanted to supposedly, quote-unquote, put an egg on PewDiePie by going on my own Discord, getting on my account, and then making another Discord account, or maybe, let's just say, a Skype account, doesn't matter the platform, and then having a bogus chat between myself and an alternate account, and the alternate account being a victim of, let's say it's a child and he's a pedophile. I prove him to be a pedophile. Well, first off, that's creating fake news. And that's what these biased, self-hating pieces of shit do. A lot of the time. I've proven it time and time again. As somebody who's created. As somebody with the mindset to get what I want. To say what I want. I mean, look around me. I'm not, I work my ass off every day. I work 80 hours a week. 80 fucking hours a week. And then I sell shit online. I'm a workaholic. I spend maybe a couple hours online a day. My closest thing to a vacation, shit you not, going on eBay, flipping some stock around on stock exchange, buying a couple lottery tickets, and, I don't know, fucking going to a casino, possibly. If I want to go to that level, maybe play some Mario Party. It's not limited to if you hate someone on a platform or anything. See, the reason why my video on Isaiah Johnson, the owner of Empire Arcadia, the reason why it worked was because I had nothing to do with him. I had nothing to do with him, held nothing against him prior. That's when I knew that was an opportunity. It's not that I wanted to go after him. I didn't want to. The thing I wanted to go after him for was all the fake cheated scores. Why would you cheat, or, I don't know, have a conversation with my pal Frico at, New Year's dinner with Eustace Lance at some New Year's Eve party and sit there both all together say, I don't know, what the fuck was the terminology? He was trying to explain how he leached his Contra 3 boss score and saying that he would try to get it grandfathered in, but he wouldn't release the secret at the time. So, and the rule for that track is no excessive leeching, but they don't define what it is. And Jace was like, alright, fuck it, allow it, because, Isaiah went behind the whole system and went to Dave Hawkset, which was the custodian, basically Jace's bitch at that point, and said, hey, look, this is what's going on, this whole mob, it's going after me, and okay, really, dude? You went beyond the system. Your shit should be removed automatically because you were trying to break the system. You were committing collusion by telling people in your own Discord server to go after Twin Galaxies and damage their whole thing. I'll say it on camera. That's what happened. Factually, on Discord, we have photos of your crew doing that. Saying, oh, we're going to vote for this score, this score, this score to get credibility so that you can vote on your score and control the outcome. That's not how it works. It's not how it works. You get factually proven wrong, you get proven wrong. Scientifically, you were proven wrong by multiple members of the Contra 3 community. I didn't really need to do anything. All I did was talk about it. All I did was come forward and say, hey, look, this guy's cheating. I'm about video game integrity. I really am. I don't like the fact that I could open up, say, a video game Guinness World Record book now, because Apollo Legend said it completely right. How do we know that Billy Mitchell's score, I'm not saying his Pac-Man score was wrong, his Pac-Man score, there was nothing wrong with it. It shouldn't have been removed. I agree with Dad on that one. His score for Pac-Man shouldn't have been removed. I'm not saying all of his scores. I'm saying for just the Donkey Kong score, because we know it's MAME. So if we know it's MAME, we know it's the wrong version, we know it wasn't supposed to be tracked, so the record should be thrown out. And technically, he shouldn't hold that world record as the first person to get that 1 million point score, because he did it on MAME. Now, you could change it to say he got the 1 million point score first on MAME. That would be fair, because he has footage of it. But not on official arcade console. Technicality, you can get away with that. That's how you could do that. That's how Billy Mitchell should have done this, instead of going after this huge lawsuit. And then I don't agree with what Apollo did. Now, it's not illegal to do a Patreon to, you know, help with court fees and, you know, legal battles and such like that if it's targeted harassment, because technically Billy Mitchell going on his, you know, online and trying to contact the lawyer to make it all public and making it a scene. Apollo kind of made it a scene of it, you know, in itself, but you sit down and you think about it, it's still technically bullshit, online bullshit at the end of the day. Apollo got money, people donated to him. People didn't really get their donation money back, apparently. I don't know. Sounds like Oceanside all over again. It don't seem right. But, we're 25 minutes in to this stream. So, well, 26 minutes here in a couple seconds. So, 26 minutes in, just mark it somewhere. Someone tell someone, I don't give a shit. I'm going to start talking about the video that's linked down below. Again, I found this by browsing and hearing it all throughout multiple communities. I didn't hear it from any specific person. No one specific. No one specific at all. This video was made by a girl named Casey Ross, who, huge Billy Mitchell kiss ass. I think she wants to date the guy. I don't really fucking care. I don't really know. Don't really care. Don't know. Don't care. But she calls Apollo Legend a weasel. First off, you don't know anything about the guy, personally. Don't name call or nickname people at all. That's just that's dumb, okay? Unless you got a personal idea of what they're like in person, and I've spoken to them, you can't give someone a nickname. That's just how it is. For example, I can't give... you know, I'm not even going to go there. I'm not going to nickname people. Factually, though, let's just get to the point. That video down below, no one target Casey Ross. I don't care what the fuck goes on. I don't give a shit. You shouldn't give a shit. Keep it that way. The video in question, though, has content regarding Apollo Legend, and Casey Ross, in private, has spoken to multiple people that Billy Mitchell knows. Apparently. And the word is from her mouth, as rumored, and this is quote-unquote fact in her book, so that's why I'm calling this a rumor. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. Don't quote me. I'm going to say it 3 times, okay? Apparently, Apollo Legend settled outside of court. Settled outside of court. That would mean, instead of going into the courthouse and facing that big $1 million lawsuit, he stepped outside of court, or probably handled it right outside the case room, or outside the courtroom in general, and said, hey, out in the waiting room, look, let's do this instead. Let's come to this agreement. And they will go to a back room where they privately talk before appearing in front of a judge. That could have happened. Or it could have been something along the lines of an email on, like, a, you know, a formal agreement. Like a shut the hell up slap order, almost. Because, I mean, it kind of makes sense. You start to think about that rumor a little bit. I mean, Apollo disappears with Dark Viper and making that, like, this kind of his escape route. And Apollo goes on Twitter and says, I'm quitting YouTube forever. I don't know, you know. There's a lot to question there, whether that's true or not. I mean, it probably did leak from Billy's lips. Billy's probably deep down, he's like, oh yeah, I beat Apollo, yeah, yeah. I don't... I could be over-exaggerating that, but, like, I'm thinking of the fucking, what is it? What the fuck was that stupid show? He tried to lawsuit Cartoon Network, that fucking episode. I don't know if it was Adventure Time or what the fuck the show was called, because I don't watch cartoons, but, like, really, I'm thinking of that scene of him just rubbing his hands together saying, I got Apollo, with that face. I don't know why, it just works. But yeah, this girl was getting way too personal with this. Like, I'm looking at her. I'm just going to say it out right here. She looks like this radical feminist that hates everything. Passively hates everything. But then privately will fucking try to torture a whole fucking community if she can. When you get to that thought process, just step off the internet and talk to yourself. and think, what kind of creation do you want to put on media? You know, take up cat videos. There's my advice. Take up cat videos or comedy. Really, take up comedy. Comedy usually works. Instead of fucking posting this 10, 20-minute, mile-long rant about two people that you barely know in person and facts that are one-sided because you have a view of Billy Mitchell. You know, I have people that support Billy Mitchell, and I have contact with people who don't. The reason I'm able to give a standpoint is because I'm unbiased on the situation. That is how you take care of something. That is how you report on something. That is how you become a newscaster. Is you sit there and you listen to every single side, and then you try to fact-prove everything, and then there you go. Over on Twin Galaxies right now, this Casey Ross girl is getting blasted on, like, multiple articles. I'm just sitting here, I'm just like, who the fuck cares? Who really cares about the blasting? But, you know, they're pissed. It's really hard. I find it really hard, deep down, to piss off a whole community. A whole community. I'm not talking like a small circle of like a few people, several people, you know. I'm talking like the whole community. The whole Donkey Kong arcade forum. How they're all pissed off at Billy Mitchell was just fucking astounding to me. That one blows my mind, how they got emotes and a private Insta chat if you sign up to their forum, to where they're just trashing Billy constantly, and Billy's trying to lawsuit them. Okay? It's this small, irrelevant forum that no one visits. That in order to see that board, that instant chat, you need to sign up for. It's a V-Bulletin board, I think. Do you know how fucking old those are? Realistically, I think it's a PHP, but do you know how old those are? They're old as shit. No one uses them. People use instant chat fucking messengers more. I know people who use AOL more than forums. Kind of sad to say, but it's true. I skimmed bits and pieces of that girl's video because every second I was just constantly shaking my head. It's like, this is a biased video. This is a biased video. What are you doing? Why are you posting this? Like, you're calling one person a weasel and then you're trying to be a newscaster. That's not how you do things. It's not how you do things, okay? Like, listen. Okay, for real. For real. I'm gonna take my headset off. You don't go after... You don't post as a newscaster online and then turn to drama and then put yourself in it. It's like, as one individual from Twin Galaxies would put it, it's like walking in a war zone and filming and being part of the thing at the same time. You hold only your view, which is one side. The guy who made that quote is now crazy and probably banned from Twitter a dozen times over by now. The point I'm trying to get to, and it's just a random person on Twin Galaxies, and there's a lot of them. A lot of them. The point I'm trying to make, you have to respect the communities that you know. You need to be able to sit down as a reporter and talk to every, side of the thing, even if you don't like them. If she really gave a shit about giving a true report on Apollo, what she would have done, the smartest thing, go to people that she's been in contact with. R. White Goose. Go to fucking WQ Alpha Gamer. Go to me. Go to fucking anyone on the fucking TG forums. Talk to them in private and see if you can get a hold of them, over email, and sit down and talk. It's pretty damn simple. That whole video was just a whole one-sided mess. And then the whole thing with Dark Viper, I couldn't give two fucks about the Dark Viper thing. I don't understand... Excuse me. I don't understand why Apollo went after Dark Viper over a $30 payment to some random guy to edit videos. That was just really fucking confusing to me. It really was. I sit there, I'm just like, the fuck? Like, dude. Your videos on YouTube, Apollo, get a lot of money in ad revenue. What are you doing over $30? It's not even about video games. It sounded like it was personal. It did. And there's personal shit that happens on YouTube. I had to throw out an entire fan base that I had because they were too toxic. It happens. I grew attached to that toxicity because, A, I'm residing from New Jersey. I view New Jersey as probably one of the top 5 most racist states in the world. You gotta think about it. You know, Jersey Shore. I live, and I shit you not, I live a 1.5 hour drive from where they film Jersey Shore. That's pretty fucking close. And it's cringe. It's fucking cringe. Racism in every convenience store in my town that I walk through. Everything. It sucks. Anyone that knows me personally will tell you, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good. It's shit. The second thing to being a newscaster, you have to research if it's fake news. Because again, you're talking to a side. It could be a biased side. You also need to know, is it worth your time? Is it really worth your time? Is it worth your time to investigate this? Those are the 4 magical things that you really need to look for. Is it worth your time? Are you actually fact-checking all sides? Are you befriending all sides? Okay, I'll give you a huge piece right now. I befriended Rudy Ferretti, and a lot of people hate him. A lot of people. Last time I had contact with him was probably over a year ago, because he's busy doing life, and I didn't want to bother him. You know, guy's off doing his own thing. People accused him of being a racist. I couldn't care. Couldn't care. I couldn't care. What I wanted to know about him, what did he know as somebody who was banned from joining Galaxies? Because apparently there was rumors floating around that he had access to a secret admin database. You know, that, you know, he had views and had a whole collection of images and, you know, proof of it. And I've never seen it. Probably true, probably not. I don't know. I give a one-sided biased opinion until I see it. And is it worth my time? I don't know. They said that they tried to ban him, but they accidentally gave him admin privileges, which allowed him to view certain rooms that he shouldn't have been able to. Such rooms had Patrick Scott Patterson, like, insulting him. I don't know. I don't know what was going on there, because I wasn't there. But again, if I was, I could have gotten a better idea of what the hell I'm dealing with over there when I was going to go on to report on it, but I can't. Can't sit there and give a proper review on a situation that you don't fully understand unless you sit there and fact check every little fucking thing and talk to multitudes of people. Okay? I had Kat Despair, her real name's Kat Tess, I'm not gonna fucking beat around the bush. I had Kat Tess fucking tell me that she had Apollo Legends' phone number and she kept constant tabs on him before I even spoke to Apollo. Okay? Lo and behold, I talked to Apollo. That never happened. Bitch is a liar. Apollo turns around privately and says, oh, Kat Despair is a fucking dumbass. I couldn't have agreed more. Like, she gave you fucking emails that she, you know, invaded Billy Mitchell's privacy on. I think that's pretty stupid. Because that just risked you having a lawsuit in the process. Because it's privacy invasion. But that's mostly Kat Despair's fault and Billy Mitchell's fault for, you know, lax security on his account. His password for his fucking, you know, his email account was probably something simplistic, like Pac-Man Legend 1970-something. Whatever year that he won a thing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to specify. I'm not going to sit here and promote anyone going after anybody. The point I'm trying to make about that, I'm not going to sit here and say that I don't like Apollo Legend. I'm not going to sit here and say I do. What I will say is, people need to get the fuck over themselves. You need to get the fuck over yourself. Okay? I could sit here with my, you know, preppy little glasses and sit here and be like, you know, you, and that guy over there is okay. But the rest of you, fuck off. You know, you don't, listen, you don't get to that point. You don't get to that point. You do what you want. You do what you want. But just remember that if you're not fucking reporting something right, and you're going to be a drama poster, be prepared for the consequences of backfiring and the amount of karma of constantly doing it, how it's going to come back and eat you. Because it does. It does. I'm not just saying that as a troll. I'm saying that as a real individual on camera, it will fucking eat you alive. It will. Be it through, you know, law enforcement, through court, through an entire hate mob on fucking Twitter, damaging your reputation, and trying to shut you down. It won't end. It doesn't end. You keep going. You get over it. You build off of the loss and characterization that you've probably once had that not many people care about. I gotta add air and shit. What's going on in my general jaw? Oh, Christ. I mean, I talked about Apollo, I talked about Dark Viper a little bit, which I think Dark Viper's reasoning, I mean, apparently, the first source, and this was really sketchy with this source, the source was that this guy wasn't paid for editing some TikTok videos for Dark Viper, and apparently because the editing was bad, that, you know, he didn't pay him. So Apollo goes around, shows that off, but then that same person who's the editor says that he's not mad, take this down, stop this. I'm just like, what the fuck? So why would Apollo make a whole video saying you didn't pay this guy, and then, you know, there's not enough complaints to go around, and then it turns? Like, the fuck? Like that right there? No one's questioning that. What's going on there? Did someone privately go to Apollo, you know, saying, in pity, like, I wasn't paid by Dark Viper, you know, I don't understand what's going on here. Apollo, help me. You don't like him, please. That could have happened. It's a situation that I'm throwing out there that could have happened. The scenario. That's what it's called. It's not fact. Possible fiction. But again, these fucking drama posters on YouTube are the ones creating the hate-targeted campaigns that are all over the fucking place. They need to get the fuck off the platform. I can't even take this platform seriously. I mean, look at me. Just look at me right now, okay? Everyone's gonna listen to me because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I don't take bullshit. This is such bullshit that I won't even reference my own podcast name. It's such bullshit, okay? It's a such bullshit podcast. But I can't sit here any longer. It's been 42 minutes, 43 minutes, okay? I could sit here and rant all day. You know what? I'll talk a little bit more. I want to talk about Twin Galaxies a little bit more. I thought I was going to be, you know, done talking about Twin Galaxies. I was going to stop, you know, talking about everything, and this is going to be, quote-unquote, my last thing that I talk about. It never will, because constantly I have now become, like, their source of, quote-unquote, entertainment, because I talk about them. They like that. They like that shit. They eat that shit like it's fucking chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream for a fat person. They fucking love it, right? I did a history video regarding the ownerships of Twin Galaxies a while back, and I didn't do a part 2 to it because after a while I was like, do I really want to? I mean, at that point it's just me reaming into Jace because that's the current ownership. I would be going over how Dave Hawkset's a fuck up because a lot of people think Dave Hawkset's a fucking idiot. Factually, he goes on Skype to talk to people outside the dispute and then responds to people in email over the dispute instead of saying completely, you know, unbiased. He fucking broke his own policies and rules as the head custodian for the fucking website. And then that you realize that that's why video game integrity on Twin for scorekeeping. So that's like say death counts. It's everything that's not speedrunning, which I support wholly more than speedrunning. Anything that's not speedrunning. I don't like speedrunning as much. I prefer high scores and no death runs. Any special challenges. I like shit like that. It's better than speedrunning, because speedrunning is just fucking boring. It's skip to the end by any means necessary. Be it through ID manipulation, wrong warping, Mario Kart flying off a track and coming back around in a circle, right around the fucking finish line through some bullshit glitching and physics. You really look at those things, and it's just like at that point, it's just a matter of timing. and practice and doing it over and over and over and over and over, and it's not fun because you're doing it quick and recessive. I can kind of put up with speedrunning if it's like a 100% run. No glitches. Fine, fair enough. That's the only time I can put up with speedrunning. When it's get to the end of the game as quick as possible, you know, full-on glitches, do whatever the fuck you want. I guess it could be interesting. But there's always going to be another exploit, and then that'll be it. It'll end. There'll be a cutoff point to where there's no more point to even running the game. However, no hit runs, high scores, those can't really be changed. And then you look at websites like Twin Galaxies, which was the original and only video game scoreboard database. And to my knowledge, it's still the only one that accepts those kind of things. You know, hats off to Jace Hall for paying the amount he apparently said he did. But, you know, again, there's a lot of sketchy shit going on in the background. A lot of sketchy shit. A lot. I can say publicly here, Apollo has, in private, spoken to me about how he thinks Jace constantly, and I think he said this publicly in his Discord server too, he thinks Jace is just constantly doing this for fucking attention, and he's blowing things out of proportion rather than just being upfront about it, and he finds him just fucking annoying. I know, I kind of agree with Apollo on that one. Like, I feel like Jace Hall, you know, having Dave Hawks and him, you know, Jace having to step in as somebody who's not a video game enthusiast and, you know, NES games and so forth, so forth. You know, I collect NES games. I could walk out of this room right now and bring a couple back. Okay? All right, come, stare. Yeah. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay? Shit you not. NES controllers, zappers, fucking even Atari, my dude. I got everything that I could possibly play for days. And this is just shit I'm getting rid of out of my closet. I got Kid Niki with the man. I got fucking Tetris 2. I got all this shit. I got shit that I don't even want and need. You know, Jace Hall, in terms of old school video gaming, of all those old consoles, really doesn't have nothing on these boomer to millennials in between people like me. He doesn't really have anything on him. I think this guy just bought this for the name brand for esports. I really do. I mean, if he knew anything about Contra 3's final boss for that entire sequence, and how you can sit there infinitely, provided that, you know, that has been shown to be a thing. You can't kill the boss the way Isaiah Johnson described it. I've shown that on my Twin Galaxies Revolution video. And you sit there and you think about it, it's like, really? You're still gonna keep the score? Even though you could sit on the final boss infinitely without dying? You could sit there at the final boss and farm lives. If you made a perfect task bot, you could stay on the final boss for literally hours on end. Forever. A perfect task bot that could just duck and shoot whenever it needed to. I'm pretty sure that it's possible to make. I don't doubt that. But that's all Isaiah had to do, was sit there on the boss forever. He didn't have to even bother speedrunning the game or getting to the end as fast as he could. He just had to get to that boss. That was it. But again, Jace Hall thinks that, you know, he tries to, and I do support this, he tries to support everything in his database for being removed like it's a murder case. Like a real fucking murder case. If it's not 100% without a shadow of a doubt proven, he will not do anything. That's what I don't understand either. Like, I support it, but I don't understand it either. Like, you have people on the website, by the way, that lied their information and used prepaid phones, and they're roaming the website itself. I'm not going to specify names. I know a few people on there. They fake their information, dude. They have. And they shitpost everywhere to build up their credibility. They shitpost everywhere. They go everywhere on that site. I don't understand why. And then you got people like this fucking Casey Ross girl that thinks she's the next reporter, the next, people that know Twin Galaxies. And let me be clear here, okay, honey? Let me be here, darling, okay? I know probably more about Twin Galaxies just from researching than even Jace knew. And he said it on fucking Data God's forum post. I shit you not, on those fucking wall posts. He's like, oh my god, this meme troll guy, oh, Maris, he found all this out. This stuff I didn't even know. I'm like, okay. Not even on the Wikipedia page does it explain half the shit I found. And it's sourced. The shit I researched isn't even on Wikipedia yet. On Twin Galaxies. What I'd really love to know, if someone for legit could come forward about this information, I want to know how the fuck Pete Bouvier, it's his French name, I can't pronounce it. He was one of the owners of Twin Galaxies, this really old guy. How did he lose ownership after passing away, and how did it transfer to the next person if he was dead? Because he died as the owner. No one ever says that. No one's talking about that. Where's the fucking paperwork when he passed away, right? Did rights just transfer over automatically, or did they just actually walk into his house and sign the papers and take the rights from him? Because he had to finish paying off this contract that he only paid bits and pieces into. Technically, when he died, he still owned parts of Twin Galaxies. Did he get paid off? There's no information about that online. I would love if someone right now from Twin Galaxies, I don't know, maybe Snowflake or whoever, Starcry Tass, whoever the hell I still have contact with on that forum or on that board. If one of you guys listening to this could, figure out or tell me how that happened, I'd love to know. If you know anything about it. If you don't, then please look into it. I'd like to know. If there's anyone who knows about it, please come to me. Email me. I don't, all you have to do is go down to my YouTube about and fucking email me. It takes about a minute. Please. I like to know. I'd like to know a little bit. And that right there is how you get information to report. It's proper reporting. You ask the community to give you the information you're looking for. That's something not a lot of people do. It just doesn't happen. I don't understand why. I would love to also know how many records does RTM have? How many records have gone missing in Patrick Scott Patterson's possession? Because apparently they went to a shed in Texas or something, and they got damaged from the heat, and they no longer work. And why? Like, why did PSP demand money for the tapes for Jace Hall and their Jace Hall's property? There's so much shit wrong that not a whole lot of people that are sitting on these fucking Zoomers that come to me that, and when I say Zoomers, I say people like this Casey Ross girl who looks younger than me, looks probably like they're probably, I don't know, 20 years old, maybe less. Like this big fangirl that really loves Billy Mitchell. I couldn't really give two shits. I don't care. I care about someone's skill playing a video game and the factual correctness. If they can do the shit, great. Did they do it back then? Great. Prove it. That's really all it is. If it's hard to prove, I can understand. If it takes you 2 years to build some kind of a fucking court case and go after 3 people, that's when it comes really questionable. I don't, you gotta sit there and really think about it outside as a, an unbiased individual. You gotta question these things. You gotta say, why the fuck is it normal? I'll put my headphones back on. Why is it normal to... Data God's not listening. Why is it now normal to go on Twin Galaxies in the past or present and just fucking, mouth the fuck off and shitpost, basically? I'd love to know why anything at this point. I'd love to know what's going on, how many records are missing, whose records are missing, why aren't they in the database? Like, because right now, we could have so many scores that Patrick Scott Patterson's missing, because he didn't want to give them to Jace Hall, or they were damaged, or whatever. It's some that are missing from referees, because back then, Walter Day didn't want to pick them up. He told people that he had to drive their tapes that are stockpiles, sheds full. I'm talking this little cubic room that's like, it's like a 5x5 room. It's 8 feet tall. This whole room would be filled with fucking tapes. And Walter Day expected people to bring those tapes to him. VHS tapes. These were big fucking bulky box tapes, kiddos. You Zoomers. Big tapes. I don't have one to really show you if you don't know what a VHS tape is. Look it up. It's an ancient, big fucking mixtape looking thing, okay? In case you kiddos don't know. I want to know how many fucking tapes, because some of those tapes could be world records to this moment. And those people not getting any notoriety for it. And they could be like a Slaughterhouse record. Let's be real here. One person could have gotten a Slaughterhouse record, could fucking destroy Rudy Ferretti's career. If you want to go to that level. You can have another record for another game that destroys RTM's career. It'd make people flip their shit if these records came forward. From these random strangers from God knows where, because they were sending in tapes to Twin Galaxies left and right. We don't know what happened to these fucking tapes. This is lost history. Lost history that no one's ever seen, that I've seen. I'd love to see. It's thinking like, in retrospect, you know, I'm almost on an hour here. I had this long conversation with a group of people I'm in a velvet room, but I'll get into that another day. This conversation, though, was about my opinion of what's the best Zelda game. And I said that Zelda Euro was the best game of all time. But unfortunately, this person didn't know what Zelda Euro was. Zelda Euro, if it was remade instead of the 3DS of Ocarina, I would have fucking praised Miyamoto up and down and that game, and it would have been the best game of all time. It featured the Hero of Light. That was the kind of game I wanted to get behind. You know, off topic here. You know, but that game's lost to time. It's lost in time because EG, I think it was the lead director, somebody, wanted to stop developing Zelda Euro, which was the disk drive game. It's a completely different storyline. And then, basically, that game tore itself in half and made Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask. But we'll never get that original game. That's something that's lost in time. Like these fucking records that I'd love to fucking see. I'm never gonna see them. We're never gonna see them. We aren't. They're lost. Most of these tapes are gone. You could have Walter Day sit there with a bunch of tapes in the background that Guinness World Record video, right? And they could sit there and say that, oh, you're this awful fucking individual, you know, we got all these tapes, whatever. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. People are pissed the fuck off at Guinness right now. So right now, Guinness really needs to be explaining their sources more than anything, because they said they had eyewitnesses, and they said they had specialists that checked Billy Mitchell. I'm talking about my previous video. What do? You mute the video, you mute the comments. There was photos of that video having comments at one point, and then a dislike bar that was just all red. What do you do at that point, Guinness? You gonna explain yourself, Guinness? A lot of people need to explain themselves. I don't feel like I have to explain myself at all. I already did. In one way or another, I've constantly have done it. Whether my fucking fan base and friends, ex-friends, want to sit there and say that, you know, I did this, that, and every other thing, guess what? Their views are biased. I've probably told them shit. I've done stupid shit to them. Jokingly. It's fun. I've done some fucked up pranks to them that were funny. Bad kind of funny, but still funny. It's the kind of jokes that you would joke about to, like, only your best friends IRL that you wouldn't even say online. Shit like that. When you get to that kind of friendship with people, that's fine. Be it you know, your fans, your team, your network, the people you care about in your own little circle. Whatever. I don't hold anything to anybody. It's when they start doing stupid shit that just gets annoying that you gotta eventually say something. Say, hey, look, this is who I am. And I don't approve of that, boy. I mean, really, that's the best for it. But, you know, I'm about at my hour. 30 seconds in. Give it a couple more seconds and my podcast will be done for this week. You know? Just gonna drink this real quick. Fuck it, I'm just gonna announce it. I have a video in the works. It's still sourced on my old hard drive. I have to pull it because I had to rewrite my entire OS. It was about Patrick Scott Patterson in those tapes. Because I brought that up here. I just don't approve of any of that. Pat the NES punk didn't approve of any of it. And I'm going to reference every single thing I found. I'm just going to say it as I've seen it. If somebody wants to hold it against me because I was able to go on fucking Google and look it up and talk to some people about it, then hold it against me, I guess, because F you at that point, right? You're going to blame Google now? Think of it like that. You're going to blame Google now? You're going to blame YouTube? You're going to blame social media? Why are you on social media?